Hey, thanks for watching. My name is Christine Ann Melvin, aka Woman Walking a Wire. Today I'm doing a tutorial on the heart applique portion of my Granny's Heart Granny Square. The written pattern and the rest of the square will be available for purchase in my Ravelry and Etsy stores. But I'm sharing this first portion of the heart applique with everyone for free because we all need a little bit more love in our lives, right? All right, so before we get into it, there's a few things that I want to talk about as far as yarn weight and hook size. This is a worsted weight yarn. I did a 4mm hook. My squares come out to about 5.5 by 5.5 inches. But not all worsted weight yarns are created equal. My general rule of thumb is if a worsted weight yarn has a recommended hook size of, let's say, on this big twist where it's got for a crochet hook, it says 5mm. I generally go down 1mm from whatever the recommended hook size is. So if it says 5, then I use a 4. And some of them are on the thicker side, like this sweet roll from Premier, and it's got a recommended hook size of a 5.5mm. So on this one, I would go down to a 4.5mm. But I think it's really important on this pattern specifically. It doesn't really matter so much on all of the rest of my patterns, but this one I did find that I had issues if I was switching between different thicknesses of yarn, even if they were all worsted weight. So if you're going to do a thicker one, I'd say go with a 4.5 or a 5mm hook. Your results are going to come out slightly larger. Like I said, this is about 5.5 by 5.5 inches with a thinner worsted weight yarn and a 4mm hook. Okay, so that's all I have to say about that. Let's get into making our little heart applique. We're going to start, first you need to have worsted weight yarn. I have my 4mm hook. We talked about if you're going to adjust from that, go about 1mm down from whatever the recommendation is on the yarn, and try to stick with all the same thickness yarns. So you're going to need scissors, you're going to need a yarn needle, and you're going to need, for the heart, 2 stitch markers and 2 different colors of yarn minimum. So we're going to start with the eyes, and for the eyes I'm going to do black, and I'm going to start with a magic circle. And I'm going to chain 2. That's going to count as my first half double. 1, 2. And then into the magic circle or magic ring, you're going to do 11 half doubles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So counting my chain 2 at the beginning here, I should have 12 half doubles now. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So I'm going to tighten my ring down. Oh, I was about to pull my stitch out. Hang on, I'm going to have to redo that. Pulled the wrong lever. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to tighten my ring down. I'm going to pull the right lever this time. All right. And I want it like really tight. I don't want any gap there. Okay, so no gap. And then you can either slip stitch into the top of the chain 2, Or I like to slip stitch into the first half double. Okay, so into the same stitch, and I don't chain one when I'm doing single crochets. So we have 12 stitches around here for our first round on the eyes. Round 2 for the eyes, we're going to single crochet into each stitch around. So I don't chain one, I just go right in and make my first single crochet. So that's the first one. We're going to do that in each stitch around. So we'll have a total of 12 stitches at the end of this round as well. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and now since I slip stitched into the first half double instead of into the top of the chain 2, I'm going to make my last 12th stitch into the slip stitch that was formed when I slip stitched into the half double. So right into the top of this right here, and I just feel like this looks a lot cleaner. You get like a tighter join at the end here when you do it that way. And I'm going to go ahead and fasten this off. And I'm going to do an invisible join. You can slip stitch to finish this off, slip stitch into the first stitch to finish if you'd like. I find an invisible join makes a lot cleaner looking eye, so that's what I do. There's really great tutorials out there for how to make invisible joins on YouTube. I think that one of the ones that I recommend is by Crystals and Crochet. I think that she does a really good tutorial for those. And she also does a really good tutorial for standing stitches, which is what I'm going to start off this next round with. Okay, so you make 2 of these eyes. I've already got my second eye made. So if you want to pause this and make your second eye and then come back, because I'm going to go straight into round 3. And I was going to do some teal because I'm making a whole rainbow of hearts. Okay. So now I have my 2 eyes, and I'm going to grab my heart color, and I'm going to start in either eye in any stitch. And I start with standing stitches. So into the first stitch, I'm going to do 3 double crochet. The first one's going to be a standing double crochet. That's 1. And then 2 more. 1, 2. So we got 3 double crochet in that stitch. And then 2 double crochet into the next. 2. And then 3 double crochet into the next. 1 and 2 and 3. And we're going to do 2 half double into the next. 1, 2, and then we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to half double into the next stitch here. And now we're going to join our 2 eyes together. So into this same stitch that we just made this half double, we're going to do a partial double crochet. Okay, so don't finish it, just go through the first 2 loops and then leave those 2 loops on your hook. Now yarn over, pick up your second eye, and into any stitch here, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through all the loops on your hook. So we double crocheted 2 together, and we also joined our eyes together. Okay. Next, we're going to do some join as we go stitches, meaning we're going to join these eyes together as we build this up over here. So into the same stitch, you're going to do a half double crochet, and then you're going to pull your loop loose and take your hook out. And in the corresponding stitch on the other side here, so here's the half double that we made, we're going to go ahead and insert our hook and pull our loop through, just like that. Okay, and we're going to do that again, but we're going to do a single crochet. So into the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet join as you go. So I'm going to make a single crochet, pull my loop loose, and then into the corresponding stitch across from that single crochet, we're going to insert our hook, and we're going to grab that loop, and we're going to pull it through. There we go. Okay, and we're going to single crochet into the next. And join as we go. So pull that loop loose into the next or corresponding stitch over here. Grab your loop, pull it through, and we're going to do that one more time. Single crochet, and then join as you go. Okay, and let me show you how we should look at this point. And I should have told you to put stitch markers here and here, but I didn't, so it's okay. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you when we get there, so it's okay. Now, that was our last join as you go stitch, so the rest of it is all just normal. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 2 half double, 1, 2, and 3 double into the next, 1, 2, 3, and 2 double into the next stitch, 1, 2, and 3 double again into the next, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to do 2 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2 into the first one, 1, 2 into the second one. Okay. Now in the next stitch, we're going to do 2 extended double crochets. If you don't know how to do an extended double crochet, it's not difficult at all. You're going to go like you're doing a regular double crochet, just yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through just that first loop. And now you're just going to finish it like you would a double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm going to do that again. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's the extended double crochet. All right. Next, we're going to do a treble crochet into the same stitch where we did the double crochet 2 together and the half double. So into that same stitch, we're going to do a treble crochet and now we're going to work in between these stitches here. So where we have this half double and where we have these double 2 together, we're going to work in between these, we're going to work into it like it's a chain space. So into this first side, we're going to do 3 treble. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 2. 1, 2, and then into the other side, we're going to do 3 treble again. 1, 2, and 3. And then I will get my finger out of the way and show you what that looks like. All right, now into this same stitch here where we have the start of the double crochet 2 together and the half double, we're also going to make a treble into that one. And then we're going to do 2 extended double crochet into the next stitch here. That was 1. And that was 2. And now we're going to do 2 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1, about to grab that tail, 1, 2, I gotta redo that one. That was 2. Okay. And then into the second one, 1 and 2. And into this last stitch, we're just going to make 1 double crochet. And we're not going to fasten off yet. That was the end of round 3. We're going to slip stitch into our first double crochet here. And you should have 42 exterior stitches. And what do I mean by that? I mean not counting these stitches that are all joined together, just these stitches that are on the outside, not counting the chain 2. 42. Okay, so right where we left off here, if you're going to make the granny square, you're going to need a stitch marker. I'm actually going to put it in this time. We're going to single crochet into the first 9 stitches, starting in the same one that we slip stitched in. We're going to put stitch marker in the 3rd stitch for if you're going to make the granny square. If you're not going to make the granny square, then don't worry about it. So that was 3. Let me pop my stitch marker in there. And there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm working over my tail from the beginning. Now we're going to single crochet 2 together. We're going to be working first into this stitch and then into this stitch right here. Okay. And then we're going to single crochet into the next 20 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And into the chain space, we're going to do a half double, chain 2, and a half double. And then we're going to single crochet into the last 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. There we go. All right, and now we can go ahead and fasten off. And then we're going to add some details to this face. So you can either slip stitch to the first stitch to join, or you can do an invisible join. I'm going to do an invisible join. So that was the end of round 4. You should have 43 stitches plus 2 chains. If you're doing the granny square, we are counting the 2 chains on this round only, because we are going to work into those chains on the granny square. If you're not, then don't worry about it. All right, let me do my invisible join, and then we're going to add some highlights to our eyes. So you need some white yarn for the highlights. You need a color for the mouth. I've been doing black, but you could do pink or red, or it could have a blue mouth, whatever you want to do. Other options are also doing felt or doing puff paint, or beads even, embroidery thread. Any of those things are options for making these like little decorative things on the face of the heart, and any of those things would be super cute. So make it however you want to. Okay. But this is how we should be looking at this point. Now let me grab some white. All right, now I got some white yarn and I'm ready to put the little highlights on the eyes. Now I'm going to tell you, every time I make them, they are slightly different. They're not going to come out the same every single time. Well, not with me making them. Embroidery is not really my thing. I can do subtle, small, straight stitches, but anything more complicated than that, and I'm out of my depth. So I just do the best I can. I want to make one stitch about right here. So I come in through the back, and you could weave these ends in. I'm pretty lazy about it, and I usually just tie them off. It really depends on what you want to make with these. I made a really cute little ornament last night for a coworker's friend. I finished the heart, and then I chained 25 and just joined it back here for her daughter to be able to hang up in her room. So I came through the back there, and I'm just going to try to come about straight down. The first eye is never the problem. It's always the second eye and trying to get them to look symmetrical. That is definitely a struggle, but we do the best we can. So I'm going to come in over here, and I'd like to make this one a little bit longer, not too much longer, but a little bit longer. And that's just how I make the little glints on the eyes. And then you're going to try to replicate what you just did on the other side. I'm going to cut this off. I think I don't remember if I said this already or not, so I apologize. In the pattern, I'm pretty sure that I wrote you need about 6 inches of white yarn to do this. I'll tell you what, I always end up cutting like a foot, and then I have 6 inches left over. So you really don't need a lot of yarn for these, but I just give myself a lot of room to make mistakes. So let's see if I can make this kind of the same as the other side. Oh, that's pretty close. Or we're just going to say it's close enough. All right, and then I come just a little bit down from, and then sometimes I have to kind of like eyeball it like that and use my needle and go across and be like, is that really straight across from where I did the other one? All right, I think we'll see. You know what? I think it's close enough, and I think it's really cute. So I'm going to leave it just like that. So now we have the little glints in the eyes. I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm not going to worry about tying them off or weaving them in just yet. Right, and I'm going to grab some black here, and I'm going to make a little mouth using black yarn. Like I said, use whatever color you want. In fact, on the eyes, you know, you could do the inner color a different color and then do a black outline on the eyes, or, you know, whatever bordering color on the eyes, and like really give it some expressive eyes by changing the colors up on those too. So it does not have to be all black, you know. So I'm going to come up through the back of this stitch right here. And again, the mouth doesn't have to be the way I'm doing it either. You can make all kinds of expressions playing around with how you do it. But I'm just going to show you the way I've been doing it. So I come through the back of that stitch right there, and I'm going to go over to the other side. I'm going to find the same stitch, and I'm going to go through the center of like the bottom part of that stitch. It's closest to the eye, and just make a straight line across. Like, I think that one's even cute, just doing a straight line across and have it be kind of like, I don't know how I feel about anything. But we're having happy Valentines here, so I'm going to come through the chain space with my needle and just pull that through. I'm going to loop around this line and go right back down through that chain space to give it a tether. Okay, and then you're going to have to tighten up the lines a little bit. There we go. We got a sweet little smile. So I just tie that off, but you can also weave your ends of the mouth into, well, into the back of these stitches or into the eyes if you want to kind of hide those a little bit. But there is our mouth. Hang on one second. Okay, I had to take a second to tie those tails. They were flopping around, driving me crazy. So now what I'm doing is, last night when I made that little hanging ornament for my coworker's daughter, I had a thought, and so I'm just going to share it with you. If you want to do it, that's fine. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I took a little bit of, well, last night I had a yellow heart, and so I took some red yarn and I made little blush strokes on its face. So I'm going to do pink with this teal heart, and this came up about here. Let's see if I can even get my needle through. There we go. About here. And I just made a small little line right underneath the eye and kind of gave it like little glowing cheeks. I just thought it was cute. All right, let me cut that off. And I'm going to do the other side. We'll see how it looks. I think it's looking pretty cute already. So just try to find the same stitch on the other side that you used for the first line. Use that as your guide. And this is another thing where no two of my hearts are going to come out looking the same with all these little details. But that's okay. Oh yeah, I think that's adorable. Hey, thank you for watching. If you want to purchase the pattern, it's the Granny's Heart Granny Square. You can find it in my Etsy and Ravelry shops. If you want to support me by purchasing the pattern, that would be awesome. If not, thank you so much for watching and crocheting along. And if you make any of these little hearts, please tag me on social. If you share, I am at Woman Walking a Wire on all social channels, and I love seeing what people make with my patterns. Thank you so much. Have a great day.